Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is your host, King Geo in the house. How you guys doing? Welcome to another live show of the King Geo. I want to apologize for everything that's been going on. I just been in hiatus. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. Or basically, it is my fault. Like the shirt, King Geo shirt, sale guy for sales. Let me know. Let me know. It's the merch. What? Let me know. Well, I've been in hiatus for simple reasons. As you well know, I've been demonetized for reused content, which I was unaware that I was doing because I didn't know. So I've appealed. I lost my first appeal, and I reapplied last month, and they denied me. So I have to reapply again, which was yesterday. I was supposed to reapply, which I did reapply yesterday, and but apparently what I didn't know was that whatever videos that you do remove, I googled this, but in Google it said it would not happen, but it did. I googled, and whatever videos I took out, apparently those minutes, those views went with it. So you have to have a threshold of 4,000 minutes, 4,000 watching hours, which I had already had before. And apparently with those videos that I took down because I thought those were used content, it was taken down. So now I have 4,873 watching hours, which I need 120 some watching hours in order for me to reach the 4,000 threshold watching hours again. So then I can reapply. If it's not one thing, it's another thing with YouTube, apparently. But I guess it is what it is, right, guys? Whatever. So today I wanted to touch a couple of things on YouTube. The first thing is that I wanted to see how deplorable Tucker Carson is. He is a man who, as you know, he used to work for CNN. He bashes CNN. He goes over to Fox and says things on Fox that are idiotic. And like I said, the one thing I want to say that he's deplorable at is that he's actually siding with Russia. And I want you to hear something that he said 3 years ago. I want you to hear this.
Because people were dying on the front lines.
That was November.
Why do I care? Why do I care what's going on in the conflict between Ukraine and Russia? And I'm serious. Like, why do I care? And why shouldn't I root for Russia? Which I am.
Because those of us who are watching almost treason,
which he says that was 3 years ago. And then Tucker Carlson 2022, he says, who's siding with Putin? Question mark. I haven't seen anyone do that. He himself has sided with Putin in many occasions in his videos on Fox. And it's disgusting how a man or anyone can side with Putin when that man is taking over a sovereign country. And it's sad. It really is. And not only it's sad, it's deplorable because as an American, why would you side with a man, with a dictator who wants nothing but dictatorship for his country, doesn't give the people the voice? He's been there for so many years because apparently he has won on his own accord because you can say it's been cheating. It's only basically one party, right? And to say like what Donald Trump said, he's that Putin's a smart man, and a lot of people in Congress are with Putin, which is something stupid. And this is a country that as a kid we all know that is our enemy, just as well as China is, because he's a powerhouse country who wants power. And when you have big houses like that want power, one is going to throw at the other one. China's going to go against Russia. I mean, maybe China may not go against Russia because they can win together. They can help each other out, so to speak. But China's an independent country that likes to do things on their own, and they don't like being helped. For them being helped is like them being weak, right? But Tucker Carson is a piece of crap. So is Major Taylor. So is the senator, the young senator from North Carolina that was in a wheelchair. I forgot his name. He's another piece of crap. He says that President Zelensky is a thug. I don't know where he got that from. And it just, it's just a stupid narrative. Like just like today, this is what I read today, and this is no lie, guys. And this is why you have to, when you say to yourself, "I love my country," when you say to yourself, because there's a lot of people saying, and think about this too. We have allocated over 18 to 20, maybe $60 billion to help Ukraine, right? We've allocated $60 billion to help Ukraine. But yet, when it came to give us the stimulus money, it took fighting tooth and nail to give the United States money so they can survive, so the people in the United States can survive. It took them tooth and nail. Both parties were at it. One party wanted this, one party that. But when it came to Ukraine, they all said, okay, we're going to give them $60 billion. It's okay for them to do that. But I wanted to show you something. So when you get to the realm of this and you see, our country's so great, I want you to see something, guys. And this I saw today. Okay. I saw where in 2019, 2020, I think it was 2019, the United States took away all of Haiti's gold. Took away all of Haiti's gold. Can you imagine that? Why would we take Haiti's gold? What's wrong? And then you wonder why Haiti is in the position that they're in. Back in 2010, I would even go even further than this. Back in 2006, 1996, when then President Bill Clinton was president of the United States of America, Bill Clinton told Haiti that Haiti could not export, and I repeat, Haiti cannot export its rice. That Haiti had to import rice from where? From Little Rock, Arkansas, from the state of Arkansas. So all the rice that was coming from Haiti, it was coming into Haiti, was from Arkansas. That's what Bill Clinton did. So it cut Haiti's way of making money. It's shreds because now they had to buy the rice. They have rice. Now they had to import rice from Arkansas. So when Haiti won the war against the French, that they beat the French and they got their own independence, a year later, the French government came over and says that you had to give us money for reparation of the land that we lost. Think about the audacity of having that, right? And then the United States backed them up. So Haiti was poor. Haiti couldn't do anything because they were backed up by the United States of America. So Haiti had to pay all that money back. They had to pay back money on their own land because France was the one that invaded them, right? So when I say this, I am proud of my country. I really am. But there are certain things that we don't know that this country does that we should be that it makes you feel ashamed. I'm trying to look for that clip that I saw earlier on today because I like to back my things up with truth. I just want to show them. It's like stealing. All right. Here we go. As I can't find it. But when I do, I will show it to you. And it's a shame. It really is that we take from other countries and we don't and yet and it's amazing how we also want, we want to give the Ukrainian people their peace. We're giving money to Ukraine in the billions of $1 billion. But a few months ago, when there were a lot of Haitians in the border, what did the United States do? They returned them back to their country. Okay, but you want to help these people. It's just a mixed thing. So I just wanted to put that out. How Tucker Carson is a man who he has a following, and the reason he has a following because the people that follow Tucker Carson are not that very bright. Tucker Carson is bright because he knows how to manipulate the people. He knows how to manipulate. The one thing that Trump did when he became president of the United States is that he awoke those people who had no say, who had little, very neurons in their brains, very little. Because I've met thousands, I've met hundreds of Republicans who are extremely smart, same as Democrats, and I've met a lot of Republicans, as you can see in TV, that are extremely, extremely slow, outdated, antiquated. You tell them something, they don't want to believe it. You show them proof. Proof is in the pudding. Mississippi is a Republican state. It's a Republican state, and it's the poorest state in the nation. Kentucky is the fourth, and that's run by Republicans. That's run by Republicans. So you tell me. So you have Tucker Carson say, "Oh, Russia, this, Russia, that." Yeah, I remember Russia. Well, it was 3 years ago. Now he's saying, I see no one stand for it. And you have people say, I'm with Russia. I'm with Russia. Why would you be with Russia? Why? The funny thing about also is that here we are, we're crying for Ukraine. We're crying for Ukraine, but yet when the Palestine people want their land back from Israel chooses not to give it to them. When you give a gun to a Ukrainian, they're defending their country. You give a gun to a Palestinian, they become a terrorist because they're defending their country. They're defending Palestine, and the world doesn't see that way. Israel chooses not to give Palestine their land. Why is that? So we can't say, "Oh, sorry for Ukraine," and we can't. But we feel sympathy for Ukraine, but we don't feel sympathy for the people of Palestine. A few months ago, the Israeli government went inside there and they took over some people's home, left them homeless, because that's the Israeli rule, whatever the hell it is. That's not said, right? That's not said. Now, to my other topic that we're going to get into. Human trafficking, my people. Well, we're talking about gas prices. We're talking about how Biden is at fault, how the Russian, how we're shutting down Russia's economy is hurting the gas. How we are sanctioning Russia. We seem to forget that they're on the news just yesterday. Sorry. Just yesterday alone, there were some arrests. I'm going to show you right now. For human trafficking. Disney employees and former judge among 108 arrested in human trafficking sting in Florida. Just imagine. Authorities have arrested 108 people, including alleged child sexual predators and those seeking prostitutes, in a 6-day undercover human trafficking operation in Florida. Among those taken into custody were 4 Disney employees and a retired judge. And I will tell you the names of those employees. It says here, the arrest of the human traffickers and 4 child predators alone makes this whole operation worthwhile. Polk County Sheriff Grady Judge said Wednesday. Where is there where there's prostitution, there's exploitation, disease, dysfunction, and broken family. During the operation, which they called Operation March Sadness 2, detectives found prostitutes who had posted online advertisements throughout various websites and social media platforms to identify people who were seeking them out. They also identified adults who thought were inappropriately communicating with children. Right? I'm going to show you, if you see here, this is the operation. If you can see it right, I'm not sure how long. These were the people. These are the people who were seeking prostitution. right? These were charged with human trafficking and child sexual predators. One minute, let me get this right. And offers to commit to prostitution. These were these individuals. And we're going to see the names. Official identified 4 Disney employees. Well, there were Disney employees. The name goes Xavier Jackson, 27, worked as a lifeguard at the Polynesian Resort. Judge said, okay, I'll tell you said. Judge said Jackson sent inappropriate photos of himself and messages to an undercover detective who pretended to be 14 years old. He was charged with 3 counts of transmitting harmful material to a minor and 1 count of unlawful communication. We protected some little girls. Someplace that was groomed for potentially groomed by these evil, deviant criminals, thugs that they all are. Judge said the three others who were allegedly attempting to solicit prostitution were identified by judge as William Fidel, 24, who worked at the Cosmic Restaurant at Walt Disney World, Tomorrowland, for 4 years. Shubham Malave, 27, who was on a visa citizenship from India and worked as a software developer for Disney, and Ralph Lees, 45, who spent nearly 4 years working in IT for Disney. It says here he's married. Judge said about Lees, so I'm sure Disney's not pleased. They say Lees was a married man. It's just to show you that here in this country, our kids are not safe from anyone. And when you see the word allege, it means that they're alleged because they cannot say they say allegedly because they cannot be accused because you're innocent until proven guilty. So they allegedly, but it just shows you that in this country, we do have human trafficking. In this country, while you people are out there crying about $5 gas, you're crying about oil prices, you're crying about this and that, about that Biden is not doing anything, that Trump talks too much. This is what's going on in the real world. Our kids are being exploited. Our children are being trafficked by these people because they have nothing else to do. They cannot get a real job. They're too weak to be. They're too dumb to find something that's very creative. So they decide to prey on our children. To prey on our children, and that is very sad. So, and this happened in Disney by 4 Disney employees. It could happen anywhere, but you figure, wow, and it just shows you that you have to be careful with your kids. You have to be careful where you let your kids stay at, because people like this should not be in the streets. These little pedophiles should not be in the street. Why would a 20-something-year-old man send pictures of his private part to a 14-year-old girl he thought it was 14 years old but was an undercover cop? That's sick. That really is sick. And it just shows you. We bring kids into these worlds. We bring these young women to these worlds. These young girls, they see these videos. They see these music videos. I even say Bad Bunny too, because Bad Bunny talks bad in his music videos. And they see them and they exploit these women like if they're nothing. These women, that's the way they feel. And we as men are supposed to be protecting these women. Fathers are supposed to be protecting these women, their children. Music videos. I mean, it's bad. I mean, just think about that. 108 people were arrested. 108 people for human trafficking and child exploitation That's a lot, people. That is a lot. I mean, it's an embarrassment. You know, we should do more. We should take care of our children. But it's just becoming ridiculous that that our children are being exploited out there. I mean, we have problems in other parts of the world, but we got to take care of our own. And how do we take care of this? How is this being taken care of as a country? What does the government do? Were they not aware that there was a prostitution? Well, it is Florida and Polk County, so Polk County you got an Orange in Orange County you got OBT, all that. I'm talking about OBT back in the 90s. I don't know how it is now, but that was all for the prostitution. But it's just incredible. It's just incredible. It baffles me that this continues going, that this is a continuing thing. We're worrying about so many other things in the world that we're not taking care of what's going on with us. That we're not taking care of what's happening in our country. We're not paying attention to what is literally going on. We don't know, or we choose not to. These are the kind of things that we have to take care of. And it's just, I don't know. I am shocked. I really am. And it's not the first thing. Over the course of the few months before that, there's a lot of. If you look at it, every month they're doing something with this, some sort of thing with human trafficking. Why are we not doing anything about that? Because it's not affecting us. It's not our kids. We're not doing anything about the opiates because it's not our kids. No, we're not doing anything because of our kids. But when it hits us in our pocket, like the gas. We talk about that every day. Oh, the gas price is $5. Oh, the gas price is $6. Forget about the gas prices. It is what it is. These are the things that we're supposed to be taking care of. The kids, we're supposed to be protecting our kids. We're supposed to be protecting our neighborhoods. We're supposed to be protecting each other from each other because we are our own worst enemies. So I know this is a short video. I just wanted to do a video with you guys. I wanted to show my face to let you know that King Gio is alive and kicking alive, living and kicking. And I'm gonna come up with more videos, guys. Just keep on watching. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'm always doing questions. So go on to my surveys, say the yes or no, and blah 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 blah. And I'm gonna try to do every week, try to read them so you can see the polls, and I can give you my opinions of why I agree and I don't agree with these things. Well, have yourself a great weekend. Thank you very much. God bless each and every one of you, and do a good deed. Do a good deed, and don't expect anything in return. Amen. God bless.